This episode is in partnership with Authority Magazine. Authority Magazine, a Medium publication, is devoted to sharing in-depth and interesting interviews featuring people who are authorities in business, pop culture, wellness, social impact, and tech.
For close to 28 years, my guest co-host is Al Joines. He was a popular on-air personality and radio announcer at Q107 Radio in Toronto. He is also prominent for his work as a voice-over artist for movie trailers, music videos, and other productions. Al is the narrator of The Ones show, where he gets to combine his lifelong love of all things Beatles with a whimsical sense of humor. Tommy Gunn is the musical force of Tommy Grasley, a Canadian rocker with deep roots in the industry, from his legendary father, Sonny Del Rio, from Crowbar, to his cousin, Rod Stewart. With a sound shaped by rock royalty and collaborations with icons like Eddie Kramer, Greg Bissonette, and Lawrence Juber, his latest album, California Way, brings his signature passion and storytelling to life. Welcome to Believe in People.
Well, thanks, Amy and Al, for having us on your show.
Well, it's a pleasure. And Tommy, would you introduce your band?
I definitely will. On this side, we have bass player Chris Hume and his cohort on drums, Tyler Whiteside, great drummer, great bass player. Beside me is Jason Kowalyshyn, amazing guitar player, and Rebecca Marshall on keyboard, sax, and vocals. She's brilliant.
Multi-talented.
So, Tommy Gunn.
Okay, so I'm going to start by saying first, I know firsthand how hard it is to put the perfect band together. I know that it's trial and error. There's egos, there's, it's time, and everybody donates their time initially, and then hopefully you don't, and then you're touring and all of this good stuff. Tommy, tell us about how you pulled this band together and what you're doing.
Well, I first had auditions for the band, and I auditioned quite a few bass players. Really didn't try out too many drummers because Tyler, I knew he was the guy for the job, and guitar players too. A lot of guitar players, and so what happened was I obviously was blown away by Jason, and there was another guitar player who played the band, and that's how we got Chris through him. His name was Mark, and he was a definite veteran, good guitar player, but just the chemistry wasn't there for him and us. And so, but the good thing is Chris came on, and Chris is a veteran bass player, fabulous guy to work with, and brilliant at his craft. And Rebecca, I met with another band. Rebecca plays in a couple of bands. She plays in big bands, marching bands, and she plays in a couple other bands. And I met Rebecca, and I asked her if she wanted to come and jam with us, maybe play a couple songs with us. But she's digging it, and she's a huge part of the band now. Vocally, our harmonies and everything are really coming together. Really, really sweet, really nice sound, and the way the music is intended to sound. So,
how could you let me just this is your first CD, right? Unleash the Hounds?
In 2013, I released that album. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
So I released another album in 2020 in Los Angeles in February 14th. I released I Believe in Love in Los Angeles. And then Amy and I came back to Canada, and COVID came with us. So everything I had planned got canceled, all the rehearsals, everything, wasted my time basically and money. And then, so what's the guy to do? So I wrote another album and went down to Los Angeles and recorded it, and used some great guys down there who were there because of COVID, because they weren't touring. And I was very fortunate to meet them and get them to record on my latest album, California Way.
Do you find that the internet is helping introduce the band as opposed to maybe a record company signing you and doing the promotion for you. Is it a lot of work, Tommy?
Yeah, because I pretty much wear all the hats. I mean, like these guys are helping me out tremendously, but I mean, like, it's only me, marketing and calling and booking and arranging and doing all that, which I don't mind because it's done the way I want it done, so that's why I do that. But I mean, like these guys are amazing group and so beautiful human beings. That's what's important to me. And so easy to work with and stuff. And that's why we're able to create magic. And that's what I feel we're creating is magic.
Well, what I wanted to know before was how hard is it to be creative today? Yeah, or original, let's say, with everything that's, coming at us, music, movies, all that kind of stuff. How hard is it to be original, if you know what I'm saying?
It's very hard. It's very hard. However, when nobody's doing it, there lies the opportunity. And I feel like this band is creating magic that when you hear it once, you want to hear it a lot more. You know what I mean? Especially the individuals, they're so great at their instruments and their vocals and everything. It just comes together and like, wow. I mean, you're gonna see for yourself April 19th when we play and blow the roof off of the Leander Boat Club. People are gonna go, wow. And I guarantee that.
We can't
And
wait.
so, oh, sorry, yeah, exactly, right. And for Chris, I want to kind of start with Chris, and we'll go down to Tyler and Tommy and Jason and Rebecca. What drew you to the band? Like, what is it about it that? And if you can kind of also, we didn't really talk about genre. Like, if you guys can share what's that thing that kind of held it together for you, like interest you to join, Chris?
Well, it was the songs. I was busy and really, I didn't think I would have time, and it's challenging, to make the time. But it was the songs that drew me into the project. I think the strength of those alone, the live show is as Tommy said, is going to be cracking, but. It's the songs. The whole strength comes from them, and they're great. They're great songs. So it just kind of drew me in. Good songs will do that.
Yeah.
Tyler?
I got in contact with Tommy through a networking musicians Facebook group. Basically, I found a post that led me to eventually meet up with him in person, and I was at that time looking for an opportunity. I wasn't playing in any bands because COVID was just kind of taking it was pretty much toward the end of COVID and things were getting back to normal. There were shows we played, so I was looking for an opportunity as a drummer. And Tom came along, met up with him, had a good conversation, and I was interested. It's rock music. It's what I do. It's what I like to play. So I decided I would go with it, and it's gone quite well so far.
Cool. Well, Tommy, we kind of know why you did start the band, so we know your motivation. Jason?
Yeah, for me, it was I heard about the audition through a mutual friend. Steve is a friend of Tommy's and mine, and he told me this band was auditioning. I went out to his father's, was his 80th birthday.
That's right.
And that's where I met Tommy for the first time and
At the
introduced
Leander
myself.
Boat Club.
Yeah, where we're going to be playing on April 19th. So I introduced myself and I said I was interested in auditioning, and I came out for the audition. And it was the songs that drew me. I really, really dig the tunes. I don't want to be in a cover band. I want to be in an original band. And even though the songs were written before I joined, I enjoyed the songs and I can get into them. And then I get to put my own stamp or twist on them and play things my way. But the songs were written so well that I was really drawn to that. And anyone who if you like classic rock, there's something in this for you. If you like modern rock, there's something in it for you. It really covers a lot of types of rock, but that's definitely a thing. It's a harder rock band with some influences from different genres, and it's a lot of fun to play.
Love it. Rebecca?
So Jason stole part of my reason. I was playing with another group, and Tommy was kind enough to come and help our group out. We were brand new. We were playing rock and roll. I'm a jazz musician. I didn't know what the heck I was doing, and and I was scared. And this guy with great hair shows up with the curls, and he's like, "I got this." And he took a lot of time out of his personal life to come and coach us and help us and get us ready to sort of launch our band. And I loved his energy. So I started listening to his albums and I was like, I don't know about rock and roll, but there were genres in there. There was jazz in there for sure. There was a little bit of Beach Boys in there. There was stuff that I could really relate to, and I kind of fell in love with it. It's just, it's great music, and we've been having some fun with 3-part harmonies, and that got me. Just no problem, got me.
And they're all brilliant. I couldn't ask for a better group. This is the best version of this band I've ever put together, and I really would like to record with these guys, you know, in the future.
Well, I was going to ask, would it be a, you know, would you all be part of the record as far as, you know, writing and stuff, or would it just be a playing aspect of your tunes, Tommy?
No, I would want everybody to be a part of the writing because
Collaboration.
I'm a huge fan of collaboration. I'm a huge fan of collaboration because I feel like collaboration sparks ideas and ideas turn into greatness. And I believe everyone here has something great to offer to contribute. So I would want them to be a part of the whole process.
How did the Tommy Gunn concept come together, Tommy?
So
like Tommy Gunn.
I was in a band. I started my first band and I called it No Justice, Just Us. And I was on the way to the golf course with my dad and Georgie Fab. And my dad said, you know, No Justice, Just Us sounds like a wedding band. And you should really be like, you should really be Tommy Gunn. That's what you should be. And it stuck. So that was it.
He just thought of Tommy Gunn like that?
Yeah, my dad did. My dad.
Oh, wow. Now, where did he get the Tommy Gunn? Just came out of his creative mind?
I don't know. I mean, that's a question you can ask him yourself. I don't know that answer, but he came up with it, him and Georgie. You know, usually there was some, you know, a few drinks or some other joints or something like that involved, no question. So my dad, Sonny Del Rio, played in a band called Crowbar. He also played with Ray Materick and
everybody.
Yeah, pretty much everybody. And you know, is probably one of the greatest sax players to ever play. And awesomely, Rebecca plays sax as well, and she has a great feel for the sax. She has that tone that's great. So I mean, like, she has so much to add. And plus we're gonna have guests as well at the show that come up on stage with us, and we're also gonna have Chip and Pepper there as well, and Fasay McDonald. He's the Yo-Yo Guinness Book of World Record. He's gonna be doing a little thing at the beginning. We're gonna welcome everybody as they come in, and it's gonna be a lot of fun.
I guess you're excited about it. I mean, this is a long time coming for you, putting the band together and performing live.
Very excited, no question.
You know, it's always sorry.
And I'm excited for the band, you know, because you know, it's a great feeling when you create magic on stage live. It's like unbelievable.
You know, I always find it interesting because, first of all, these are all professional players. I mean, they're all fantastic players. When you hear them together, they're magic. And I always find it interesting because even though everyone's been playing for years and years and, you know, in different genres and so forth, and it's just, you know, how do you get heard, you know? And I know, Al, like, I mean, this is for 28 years you've been in with, you know, Q107, and, you know, people are knocking on your door begging people to please listen to my music. And so, you know, for artists now, you know, you have to perform live. People are coming back to perform live, and you're, you know, the Spotifys of the world are just not cutting it, because then it's just a part-time kind of, like, you're not, you know, you're doing it for fun. So what keeps you guys inspired? Like, you know, with things that are coming up, what's the motivation that apart from the songs, what is it that binds you guys, the 5 of you?
Getting paid. It's one thing.
I think the camaraderie, you know, and the celebration of completing something properly and the sound coming through the way it's supposed to sound. When you do that, when you're able to do that as a band, personally, I'm looking at everybody and just I'm loving everybody because they're so damn good, you know, and so that's for me, that's what keeps me going. And you know, I like to have fun and you know, joke around with Chris mostly, and outside I mean, with Chris mostly, and but anyways, that's another story. But anyways, we're having fun, you know, and I think that's what it is. Everybody's having fun, and there's a positive environment.
And a lot of the online thing you brought up, it's missing the organic component that you get in a live performance. And when we're jamming and we're in the pocket during a part of a song, we're all saying we're just in the pocket. It feels really good. And we all share that feeling, that vibe at the same time. That's a lot of fun. And that's what a lot of things missing today's music is that organic feel of a live show, and too much on the internet. And that's a helpful tool for sure. But it really counts as playing a show and having people come out and connect with you. And that's a lot of fun. And that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
And the energy too, Jason, that the audience exudes while you're playing. You know,
Yeah.
that helps too. I mean, that's all part of it.
One of my favorite guitarists is Eddie Van Halen, and I'll never forget the way he made me feel. And every time I hear "You Really Got Me" by Van Halen, when he plays that guitar solo, I feel the same thing in my stomach every time. And every time I pick up my guitar, I think about that specific feeling, and I try to make whoever's listening to me feel like that. I'm not playing the same notes or the same solo, but I feel like that every time I play my guitar. And if I could connect with someone and they can feel what I'm feeling, then that would just be amazing.
Yeah, for
The
sure.
the audience always lifts the level up a little bit. You know, when you're playing live, your game comes up, whether you think so or not. I know it does. Every one of us, our game would come up, and it's going to be even that much better just from the audience. You know, their energy.
And I want to ask Tyler. Tyler, I don't know, but I've heard that every drummer has kind of like a spirit animal on the kit. Are you like, can you kind of equate yourself to somebody that you kind of, you
Yeah.
can think about? Yeah.
Neil Peart's my guy. And
Ah,
I would say if I had to equate my style, improvisational style or writing style on the kit, it would probably be a mix between Mike Portnoy and Neil Peart. But you know, of course, they play pretty heavy and pretty complicated stuff. But in terms of like my favorite drummers and my spirit animals, as it were, I would say Neil Peart is definitely the one for me. I've been listening to Rush, and I've been listening to Rush since I was a baby, and he's the reason that I wanted to even play drums in the first place. So I would say he's definitely Neil.
about your okay, so Leander Boat Club, that's in Hamilton, Ontario, for those who are going to travel, and it's Saturday, April 19th. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, well, doors open at 7 o'clock. It starts at 8 o'clock with the folk centers. They're going to do a half-hour set. They do like a Grateful Dead, Marshall Tucker, Allman Brothers sort of sound, and then Wild Teen the Spirit. Like the guy's amazing. Tony Springer is an unbelievable guitarist and a fabulous human being, and he's direct support for us, and he's going to play for an hour.
He's like a Hendrix, right? Sort of a what's the vibe?
Lenny Kravitz sort of guy, and he plays his own stuff too. Like he's very talented. He played with David Bowie. I believe he recorded with David Bowie, and I saw him years ago in Hamilton at the Pipeline, and he blew me away. And they're going to be great. And then we're going to a short break while we go on, change over, and we go on. We're going to go on for I don't know, maybe 90 minutes to 2 hours. We're going to just kill it. You know, we want to do like over 20 songs probably. So,
Wow.
Yeah, we're ready. We're ready to blow the roof right off the joint. And then at midnight,
right into the lane.
And then at midnight, it's 4:20, and we'll meet everybody in the parking lot.
Oh, wow.
Perfect timing.
And it'll be warmer.
Yes.
Thank goodness.
I was before we went to air here, I was telling Amy that my back is really sore from all this snow that we're experiencing here in the GTA. So
Yeah.
we need a little energy and hotness to get us out of this winter. You know, it's funny because Chris was at the Edge Lounge on last Thursday, and one of the things that I wonder about playing in a tribute band is, and we were talking about, motivation and I know the band gets paid and all that kind of stuff. But Chris, tell me what it's like to play those songs all the time. I mean, do you get sick of them, or is it in the moment and you're having a great time with the band playing those songs? You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, in that particular case, those songs are they're timeless. So you can play those. I could play those every night for the rest of my life. I'd love them. Like I don't get sick of that. And it's funny. Maybe I would if I was playing it that much, but yeah, no.
Right. It's not like you're playing them every night. When you do your gig, it's a, maybe once, twice a month or something like that. So you're in the moment.
Yeah. So you can. Yeah, I enjoy that a great deal. But when the opportunity for original projects
Right.
are satisfying in a much deeper way.
Yeah.
It's not as initially gratifying, that's for sure. You're not going to get a couple of thousand people, watching the show, initially, but
Right.
but the idea is that you will.
Yes,
And
for sure.
with a solid band and great songs, and
that's what we got here.
And Jason, have I seen you play before? What band? I think we've met, haven't we?
I'm not sure. I haven't played in a lot of bands lately. Just
Like over the last 5 years. Well, you look familiar, bud. I just thought I knew you. That's all.
Jason's unbelievable. No, but it is funny too because there's a confidence as well. Like, I mean, I've had the opportunity to hear Rebecca, and it was so funny because Tommy and I were at this. No, it was the other band, and what was the other band? What's it called?
Wobbler.
Yes, the Wobblers. And when and Rebecca's on the sax, and then she's on the keyboard, and then when she sang, honestly, Adele. Yeah, her voice, like honestly, Rebecca's voice is unbelievable. And I want to just mention too that people always think, oh, it's about bands and ages and so forth. There's no age. There's zero. When you see like Ringo up on stage, he's 80 something, and he's like the energy is unbelievable. And I mean, it just frustrates me when people say that, oh, I can't do this anymore because I'm at this. They associate something with an age, and that's just does everybody a disservice because you have to keep doing what you love, and the more you do it, the more things will actually happen. Like they will happen, but people give up, way too soon.
That's right.
I agree.
I'm just beginning my career now. Like it's just starting literally now. I've been hiding in my basement writing songs for 39 years, and now I'm finally ready to play.
And boy, are you
yeah, if you hear this group, they are so tight. I mean, Chris, Tyler, oh my God, and Jason and Rebecca and Tommy together are unbelievable. Like unbelievable.
Better practice now.
I'm really excited.
No pressure, no pressure.
Well, it's actually 2 months tomorrow that the gig is, so we'll be ready to just, like I said, blow the roof off the joint. And I just want to say, like, the vocals have never been as good as what they are in this band. Like our three-piece harmony with Jason, myself, and Rebecca. It's unbelievable because I've never had that in any bands like that strong, and we're getting stronger and stronger every rehearsal. So I'm really excited.
And higher and higher. The other day at rehearsal, Tommy just said, "Go higher, Rebecca, higher, higher."
And she did. Yeah,
that's great.
Hey Al, being in the industry for so long, I mean, this is your wheelhouse is at 107, and I actually did that in the intro. What is your advice for musicians? I mean, bands that are trying to pull things together and make them happen, and radio play, if there's any such thing. And then, what can people do to elevate what they do?
Well, I think with the internet now, self-promotion has never been, more active, which, I think made the record companies a little bit nervous, 5, 10 years ago when the internet first came about. And I like you just said, you got to stay at it, and Tommy's a perfect example of that. This record was put out in 2013. I can't believe it was 2013. And his latest record that he did in California. I mean, the muse is there, and you gotta make use of it. And as far as uh, production is concerned, I do a radio show from this, office here, and I send it to Niagara Falls, and it gets aired, or you're all as musicians, Tyler could be playing the drums and Jason could be playing the guitar at his house, and that whole digital thing, which kind of came through COVID, is fascinating as well, and I think there's a lot more avenues for musicians to take advantage of their own creativity, whether it's through the internet, self promotion, or a live act. And I think Tommy's doing that. You know,
Good to hear. And Tommy,
and
what do you hope for the band?
So much. Pardon?
What do you hope for the band?
Success. And success, I mean, by everyone having fun and being able to play big shows. And I know this band will be playing big shows, and it's just a matter of time. We just have to be heard live. I've done all I can pretty much marketing everything on the internet. Now it's time to do live shows and for people to come and see us and hear us for themselves. And there's a big thing to be said about live, and I might add too, back in the day when there was FM radio, that was a great platform for people. We don't have that anymore because we have so many platforms.
right.
It's watered down a little bit, where the cream of the crop came to the radio on FM with you, delivering it, every day. You know what I mean? And so that's a little bit of a disadvantage for us musicians wise, but it can be, or it could be a positive. Depends on the way you want to swing it. So I take it as a positive, and I try and get on every platform, and I try and do it with everything. And now it's word of mouth goes a long way, and people need to see us. And when they see us, then they talk, and the talk will be the talk, and so forth. And I'm coming to Toronto. I'm going to come to Oshawa, to the Edge, if I can get booked in there. Yeah,
Well,
brother.
Peter is the owner of the Edge, and he's really open to anything. So that is a definite possibility, Tommy. We can work on that for sure.
I love that. And I want to ask, I want to ask one more last question before we go, but before that, Al, and I know we've talked about this before, Tommy and I, is that, classic rock and all the music that you hear on repeat, fabulous songs. I mean, you love them. I certainly do. Are replayed and replayed, and so newer bands never sort of get that opportunity. What is that? Why is that?
uh, Basic exposure, I would think. As Tommy was saying, I did a show called Discovery on Q107, and I played indie bands and that kind of stuff. And I do an internet version, that's on, Apple Music and um, the various platforms for streaming. And people listen to it. It's not as wide of audience as you would get with a Q107 audience, $100,000, we used to call it the 100,000 watt blowtorch because it's still a big powerhouse. Not accessible, like you said, to newer indie bands, but I think that's as we've been mentioning through this whole show, that it's the internet that is playing a big role in all this. And I think anyway, and because I featured Tommy Gunn a couple of times on the Discovery Show and got great feedback and through Messenger or whatever. So it's just a different landscape now.
Yeah, for sure. And actually great opportunities, I think. I mean, and I also just want to do a really quick plug to say that when you do go see Tommy Gunn, I mean, the energy on the stage is unbelievable. They are not sitting still. I'll tell you, it's a real show and it's extremely entertaining. So I love that. And as we come to the end of our podcast, there's one question that we ask all of our guests, but I'm going to word it differently. It's usually, because this is called Believe in People, I usually ask why you believe in people. However, I'd like each of you to answer this question. Why should people believe in the music?
Because it gets us through hard times in life. Sometimes you're in a tough spot or you suffered a loss and the song gets you through. And sometimes you feel great and the song celebrates the greatness with you.
And, over the years, playing so much of the music in the studio that I was in, so I could remember some of the songs that I'd be like, oh my God, like I remember this and I remember that, and even with when you hear a certain song, it brings back memories and for people like that and does it for all of us. Music's special, music healing, music, talks to you. It brings on emotion. It's quite. And I've always been fascinated by you guys with being in bands and stuff, and to be able to express that in music, and I'm impressed by that. I'm jealous that I can't do it.
We need to encourage people to get out and support live music again. It's starting to come back, and we need to build it up, and it's fun for everyone on both sides of the stage. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I always encourage, that's right. Please support live music because, this is the whole point of it. So yeah, so you can play and love what you do. Anyone other thoughts before we go about believing in music?
Rebecca?
It's a universal language. It does not judge. It's for all of us. It brings us all together and it gives us joy.
Chris?
What she said. Oh,
And Tyler.
Rebecca took the words out of my mouth.
Mine too. Just got away with words. There
Everybody,
Absolutely.
you go.
I just talk a lot.
Music is very powerful and it reaches every human being. So no matter.
Thanks, everyone. Really appreciate it. We'll be at your show.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Amy.
you.
thank you.
Pleasure, guys and ladies.
Yeah. See you in the Hammer.
Yeah.
No, Amy, it's been a pleasure being here. I'm a big fan of music, as you know, and over the years, being in radio. In fact, at one point, I was going to be in a band. I used to roadie and I did sound and all that. But my thing is I didn't want to travel, and that's why I picked radio so that I could be in one town like Toronto and do my thing. So, knowing somebody like Tommy and his band Tommy Gunn is inspiring because it is so original and he's been so passionate about it for so many years, as you know, Amy, and it's just incredible that he's able to now get this band together and present it to the public. I think that's fantastic.
I think it's, thank you, Al. And I'm so excited because everybody plays a role in the music, from you playing music and inspiring other artists. Because of you, these artists get heard and are encouraged to keep going. And I think that's amazing. And with Tommy Gunn, I mean, yeah, if you see of anyone, I've never seen anyone more determined to have his great music heard, because he's such a collaborator. And look at his bandmates now are the cream of the crop. So I think when people listen to the compilation of all the albums, they're going to be wow, because it's something for everyone. And not only with Tommy Gunn, but also with music in general. Go out, listen to music, support musicians. We always say that, but it's true. Mm-hmm. And if you believe in the music and you believe in people, then we encourage you to subscribe to our podcast, Believe in People. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Al.
Thanks, Amy. It's a pleasure.